Hi, everyone. Welcome to Film Vets. I'm your host, Paul Dixon, and with me is my co-host,
Dan Young.
Dan Young. You sound like a game show host. It's pretty nice.
Come on down. I like how whenever I do that, I get like the most psychotic eyes.
Come on down. You're the next contestant.
Are you
on
a winner
Texas
or loser?
Chainsaw
Let's
Massacre.
find out.
Yeah, this is a new background. Some of my artwork I wanted to display. I'm getting everything set up. It's going to be much better eventually. Right now, I just wanted to try something new. It's a lot more complicated, so hopefully I can fix that as well. I know you're getting your setup as well on your end, and you're going to have a whole new environment. So
the only thing that's new is the skull on the stick right here.
I didn't know that was a skull. It's so small.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Just a little boner.
Let's watch a trailer.
All right, what are we watching?
Yeah, apparently Zack Snyder has a new trailer for his film Rebel Moon coming to Netflix. I haven't seen it yet, so we're going to watch it.
Okay, let's do it.
That was a great reaction. Okay. All right, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Didn't they literally do the same scene for Superman?
I was thinking Gladiator.
Oh.
In myth, she was called the Redeemer. It was said this child would stop the madness of war. That she was to usher in a new age of peace and compassion.
It's Anthony Hopkins.
I was given memories of a world I will never see. Loyalty to a king I cannot serve. And love for a child I could not save.
What do you think they want?
Corey stuff. Nice.
I found her.
Everything.
Scargiver.
I am a child of war. I was taught that love is weakness. There is a difference between justice and revenge.
There is a price to pay for your defense.
Like the spider thing.
Shh. One moment. I do love this part.
Hold on.
I don't want no trouble.
We're not here to bring any.
Are you ready?
You and I both know fear. Let's show them that we're not afraid. Let's show them we are more than the shackles that bind us.
Gotta train your griffin.
A king is a man, and a man can fail. But a myth is indestructible.
The time has come for all that you love. Protect each other and show them no mercy.
Wow.
Who among you is willing to die for what you believe?
Oh, part one? Okay. 2 parts. So that was the trailer for Rebel Moon from Zack Snyder. Dan, give me your thoughts.
So I mean, it was a lot. There's a lot happening there. I do want to point out kind of this amalgamation of things that I've noticed. as I was watching it. First off, there's so much happening that it doesn't even seem like it's the same movie. It seems like it's patched together because it's got different tones, different themes, different elements, and it all kind of weaves together. So you see some fibers and then you see some others, and it's very jarring. Second,
oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I want you.
Oh no, I only have three pillars of my response here.
Go ahead.
So the second one, I did see like a very, what is it? What was the one movie called? John Carpenter?
John Carter?
John Carter, not Carpenter. That's a different guy.
John Carpenter's the director.
The Thing.
So I saw The Thing.
No, but
definitely a thing.
Like, it's got some elements of like John Carter. It's got some elements of Star Wars. Even a little bit of like How to Train Your Dragon is in there, but it's a griffin, but it's jet black. He's his friend. And the third thing that I want to say is I know it's Zack Snyder, and Zack Snyder had a rough run when it came to DC. They did not necessarily treat him kindly, and I honestly believe through and through, like Zack Snyder, whenever he was able to make like, what was it, Man of Steel with
Henry Cavill.
Thank you. He was able to make a very coherent and heartfelt movie. There was a lot of emotion in it. It wasn't like the best movie of all time. Honestly, I don't even think Titanic deserves best movie of all time. I'm a nihilist, so let's just roll with that.
It's so subjective.
Yeah, but he did well when he had some breathing space. And honestly, I think that DC and what was it, Warner Brothers, did him kind of dirty. I think they railroaded him and made him put things in that he wasn't ready to put in because they were just trying to keep up with the Marvel. So, I mean, those are the three things that I kind of want to put out there. I am excited to see this. What did you think?
Yeah, so you had mentioned earlier you felt like it was a lot of stitching together. My first thought was this felt like some stitching together of other movies I've seen.
Yes.
Like ideas. That's not a bad thing. It's just that it's kind of like my mind doesn't go to, wow, we're seeing something new. It goes to, I've seen that, out of context, I guess that's where I'm at for that.
The human brain's dumb. It wants to categorize everything.
Yeah. And it's hard to come up with something new in this industry. Everything's a copy of a copy of a copy. The thing that I worry about with this is I know Zack Snyder is a very talented filmmaker when he has material that works well for him and when someone else is writing. Because I always go to Sucker Punch, and I hate that movie so much. It's so hard to get through. It's nothing but visual like porn, basically. I just slow motion porn, basically. A part of me feels like when it comes to Zack Snyder, he doesn't bring a lot of substance in the way that I prefer for films to be. I like his work visually, and I think when he's writing the material from scratch, it just doesn't have the same weight that he wants it to come across as. Because I can go back to Dawn of the Dead, and that was written by James Gunn, and it's a brilliant film, and he directed that. I believe he did the story for it too. All the way back to 300, another film, brilliant. I loved it. It hasn't aged well in some ways, but it's still really a great visual masterpiece. And I think visually, that's what Zack Snyder's great at. And this looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I just want the story to be. I just want the story. The story, it matters to me so much more. And I'm not a fan of Batman v Superman. I'm not a fan of the DC universe he was forming.
That's why I tried to get ahead of that comment. Is I think that it's some of him. Don't get me wrong. He's not absolved of any fault here, but I think that he was done dirty too. So I mean, I think that whole thing was it was a porta potty.
Batman v Superman was on all him
going over the. That's unfortunate. Zach, what are you doing?
It was Justice League, or I say Justice League, that really messed things up. It was because right when he was making Justice League, he had lost his daughter, and Warner Brothers took that opportunity to hire a different director because they were like, this is too dark. Batman v Superman didn't make $1 billion. We're going to make this lighthearted and just we got Justice League. That's what happened. And they came back and said, we want you to make the Snyder cut, which is fine. I mean, it's 4 freaking hours. I'm never going to go back and watch it. I mean, I thought it was a good film, but I don't think it would have done as well as Snyder fans, the horde of fans believe it would if it was released back then, because it didn't make a big of a dent as Warner Brothers had hoped once they released the Snyder cut. It was kind of a flop, honestly.
It was an afterthought. Yeah.
And I know that Snyder fans, and I say Snyder fans, are the people that are really obsessed with Zack Snyder. Look, I think he's a good filmmaker. I just don't put him on a pedestal. I think he's fine in certain areas, and I think he has the potential. As he said before, this is my Star Wars. Rebel Moon was supposed to be a Star Wars movie, and they said no, it's too dark. I believe, and please don't quote me on that. I heard something of that sort. Was basically he wanted to make Star Wars, and it was going to be Rebel Moon, and I mean, even in the name, Rebel Moon. And Lucasfilm was like, no. So he went off and made Rebel Moon on his own. It's not connected to Star Wars. It's a 2-parter. I don't know if it needs to be 2 parts. It depends on the first part. If the first part sucks, I'm not going to want to watch the second part.
All I picture is you're sitting there and you're like, as soon as it ends, you turn it off and go, oh, I'm glad they made this a one-off. Part 2 coming soon. Yep, totally one-off.
Yep. Wow, there's a second part, huh? Click. No, it could be great. It looks fantastic visually. I just worry when I see story by Zack Snyder. I don't know how I feel about that. And I'm willing to give it a shot. Worst comes to worst, I waste a couple hours of my life. Hell, I'm getting to the point in my life where I turn off stuff before it ends because I'm just like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to finish this terrible movie I'm seeing.
Running out of time.
Yeah. I'm 40. I'm not, I'm not sitting there wasting any more time. But anyways, I hope this is good. I like Zack Snyder. I don't love him. I think he has a lot of potential. We'll see where this goes. That's my thoughts on this. And I think the last thing I want to say is I'm really loving the cast. Like everyone in this looks great. Corey Stoll, I saw Charlie Hunnam. I forget that actress's name. She was in The Mummy. She's the main actress in this film. And I am a little tired. No offense. I hear Anthony Hopkins narrate a lot of movies because he's like, I don't have to be on set. I'm just narrate it and get in my booth at home.
I like it when he narrates because every once in a while I just kind of toss in a and it just makes it all so much better. Like Hannibal Lecter and Anthony Hopkins have the same voice.
I guess he hasn't done a ton. He hasn't. It feels like he's done a ton of voiceover lately. Maybe it's just me, but I always go to Alexander, and he voiced that, and I feel like he did a couple more. I don't know.
He's done a ton of voiceover. Don't get me wrong.
I feel like maybe I'm nitpicking this film already. I don't know. It's just the name Zack Snyder. There comes a lot of baggage, and we just we gotta hope for the best, and that's all you can do. That sounds terrible. Anyway, what are your thoughts about Rebel Moon? Do you think it's going to be a great big hit on Netflix, or are you kind of tired of the sci-fi tropey stuff that Zack Snyder wants to bring to the screen? Let us know in your can't talk, it's so hot. Let us know your thoughts below. Like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our other segments. Thank you so much, veterans, for watching and for your service, and thank you, Dan, for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for hitting play. So there is one thing I wanted to note. You said, you're going to try to stay positive, and I think the old adage is
don't say it. I know you're going to say it. You've been saying it so many.
You stay positive, it does negative. Bye.